celebration of life for Tara May. This will be an annual event where we can all get together and celebrate life. Well, you know, Tara must have had an impact in Branson, as I'm the Branson mayor, and I come out to share some words about my friend Tara. As we all know, Tara would captivate a room when she would enter the room. People just naturally gravitated to her. And there was many reasons why. One of the big reasons is she created so much laughter. Our world needs a little more laughter, and that's one thing I could count on with Tara. All the times I got to visit with her is the laughter. It goes without saying, we're all going to miss her. Our city, our community, our state won't be the same without her. Joel, I prepared a letter here that I'd like to present to you. Is there a few words I'd like to share? Bless his heart. Tara's mom, Susan. Tara's sister, Rachel. And all her friends are simply going to miss her. This is Susan.
What Larry failed to tell you is Larry and Leanne are very good friends with Tara. Not only is he here as the mayor, but he took the impact of Tara just as hard as all of us in this room did. Can I have that folder? I kind of got elected, but we're not going to talk very long. We're not going to spend a lot of time doing this because you know what? Tara would want us to sit here and talk about her and be sad about her. So people have asked me what is going on over here. That's our memorial set up to Tara. Tara's with us today. So we're not going to have a lot of talking up here today. We've had Devlin come in and do our music. What we're going to do is we're going to celebrate Tara like Tara would want us to. And if you want to talk to Tara, visit with Tara, the memorial is set up over there. And the mom said, what's going on over there? We haven't even let mom over there yet. So that's what's happening over there. But as a family, I just wanted to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for showing up for Tara. This is exactly what Tara would want. Her kids are in the swimming pool. Ladies, yes, there they are. There are no mermaid tails over there, but you will notice that Joel did bring one of her mermaid tails. Some of you have come from way far away. We thank you so much for being here. Some of you are old friends that we haven't seen in a long time, and some of you are wearing, shirts from their wedding, Tracy. Tara loves that, I'm sure. But we have different things sent to us along the way, and thank you all for the cards, letters, texts, phone calls over the last 5 months. Our family's been truly blessed. But I just want to start off a little bit talking about Tara. Tara was born in 1981. No, I'm not going to go that far back. She actually was. There are pictures over there of her. You will see. And she was the first grandchild born into our home. And many of you guys have heard a lot of stories about her. You guys have known her here in Branson the last 15 years. You've all known her, 42, 43 years. And Tara was a daredevil child. Broke her leg at SeaWorld at the age of 7, which is where she developed her fear of needles, medicine, doctors, hospitals, and anything to do with any of it. Just a little bit of a daredevil child, and she was a problem child. Anybody relate? Anybody deal with that later in life? Yeah, you did, Josh? That's why Josh and her got along so well. So I have two daughters. I have one in heaven and I have one here, Rachel. And Rachel's always been our balancer and our calm in the family. And 7.5 years difference between the girls, but along comes Rachel, and Tara had a little sister. She had this cousin born in between, though, that she took under her name and treated him more like a brother than a cousin. So those three amigos were raised together: Josh, Rachel, and Tara. And they all went through, the public school system, but unfortunately, two of them had to follow her. Tara excelled in athletics. You guys have heard it all. She was an excellent athlete. She was on leadership in her freshman year. She went all the way through high school with just enough to get by. Mom, what does it take to play sports? Just the average, just enough to get by, right? Got to college and became a straight A student. Did graduate Cal State San Marcos there in California. And tried a few different things and was a semester away from her teaching credential and decided she didn't want to do that. And I think that's when she went to work for, Texas Lills or whatever you guys, and got into that restaurant industry and never looked back. She was an amazing bartender, and I'm sure taught a few of you guys a few things on how to deal with your customers. Some of you guys are her regulars, and you know how she treated you. Amazing. Then she decided to move this way. Left California in the middle of a ice storm here. I don't know how she ever made it to, where did she go to when she got here? Springdale, right? Springdale. Somebody said Springdale. Springdale, back at it. Ding, ding. Went to Springdale, Arkansas. Did a little stint down in Arkansas, and eventually came up to Branson and took Branson by storm. Literally. Everywhere you go, we look a little bit alike. Rachel and Tara look a lot alike, and everywhere we go, people say, I think I know you. I think I know you. It's like, no, you might not know me, but you know a younger version of me. But all along, we've heard, stories about Tara and Tara's impact on the town, but I think Tara's impact in her family. When she and Clay met, Paisley, amazing. And then she and Joel met, and you will not find a more amazing young man than Joel. You will not find a more amazing parenting unit than Tara, Joel, and Clay together. And I'm so proud of you guys for what you did to help Tara raise two girls. I had a lot of help with Tara when she was young. Some of my friends are here from California that know the stories, and they've dealt with, they helped me raise my daughter, my mom, my brother Andy, he's here, Alan had to leave, my sister Ann. They know what it takes. It takes a village to raise kids, but the parenting unit that these three have is amazing. So when Tara left the Earth, I had no doubt we're going to be just fine. Because the girls have two amazing dads that are carried on and carrying through. Tara, we were planning my mom's birthday party here recently. Mom turned 90 in April. And we were planning the party. There were some things Tara was supposed to be doing, and Tara liked that, and she really didn't want to do them, but she told me, okay, Mom, fine, I'll do them, and then I didn't hear from her for a week. So I figured, they're not going to get done, and I hired somebody to do it. And Tara felt really bad about it, because her little snit that she was in, for whatever reason at the time, she got over. And that last week, anybody ever been in a snit with Tara? Everybody raise your hand, because they're not fun. We all know they're not fun. We all have stories, we all have things we can talk about Tara. She had this little snitch, she got over it, and every day for about, 5 or 6 days I talked with her in a row, and she was doing some things and trying to make some changes. And then, the week that she died, 3 days in a row, I had one of those 2.5-hour conversations with her on the phone. Anybody else relate to that? And they weren't at 3 o'clock in the morning that you guys all get. Yeah, okay. There we go. There was Megan's hand. You guys know those phone calls that come in, and you just make the time to sit down and listen. But I think, when I think about Tara, and I think about, I go back to her hissy fits and her, all that stuff that I think about over time, and I think about her days as Miss Fulbright and what she did in the community. I think about her impact. I think about that. But I think when I sit down and really think about Tara, I think she was a listener. She would listen to you guys and try to figure out how to help. Try to figure it out. Sometimes we didn't like the answer, and sometimes she went to like Pete and took it on herself to straighten it out.
Get over it.
Get over it. There we go. Suck it up, Buttercup. You heard that numerous times. Not today, Satan. Yep, when you heard that, you knew, get out of the way. Because Tara was going to go on a roll. Tara had lots of friends. You guys are all here, your friends of hers. But I got a letter from one of them. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's 2 pages long. But I will tell you, they were best friends. From the time they started kindergarten until, well, kind of around they graduated high school and they went their separate ways. Sound like a story about anybody else? You know, sounds like Pete and I. But he says, I didn't realize how rare it was that a boy and girl would stay out all night on the phone together and not be in a relationship. Maybe it wasn't rare when we were in 4th or 5th grade, but when we continued to have our long conversations into the middle of the night or spend days and nights together riding bikes, playing basketball, going for drives, or sitting at the air park watching the sun go down up into our 20s, it was rare. In fact, I wouldn't call it rare, I'd call it special. It was special that your mother treated me like her son, and my mother treated you like her only daughter. I love that we had each other's house keys, or that we shared lockers, or the fact that we didn't need to knock when we came over. I didn't know he had our house key. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm sure they were just friends.
They were just friends, too. Okay. I read this already a few times. That was tears, I think, that time. Anyway, not that he came over, or that I'd come home and he'd be sitting on my couch eating popcorn, watching TV. It was special that we always had each other's backs, or that we wouldn't miss each other's games, or that we were comfortable enough to fall asleep together when he was too tired to drive home, and my parents didn't mind I was at your house. I have no doubt that anyone I have ever dated was jealous of you, not because they were threatened by you, but because they knew that you knew me better than they ever would have. It was special that we had an incredible friendship for those years and never once thought about anything. And he goes on to talking about something personal that happened between them and that life changed. There's a lot of us that wish we would have said a lot of things to Tara. There's a lot of us that wish that we would have had more time with Tara. There was a lot of us that wish that we would have done whatever. And I think my message today to you is, if you have something that you feel like you need to take care of with a friend or whatever, take care of it. Because Brandon writes on here, he didn't take care of asking for her forgiveness. He's a pastor at my home church in Fulbright, California now. And it's hit him hard. That Tara's home in heaven, and he didn't get to tell her, ask for her forgiveness. And he said to me, you know, the message that I want to share is, they shared a lot growing up. In adulthood, they kind of split apart a little bit. But he never stopped caring about Tara, and we should never stop caring about somebody that we might have hurt in the past. And it's the forgive thing. I was fortunate the day that Tara died to spend, Mom and I were, and Joel and Paisley, we were on the soccer field. We were doing what Tara loves, watching her kids play sports. There were 3 games that day. We were there, I don't know, 5 hours. We never really knew anything was wrong, except Joel and I kept asking her, do you need Sprite, do you need crackers, what do you need? You guys know how tough that girl is. And she never let on that something bad she was dealing with inside was happening. But Tara got taken home to the Lord, and I know she's there. Because if you go back and look at her Facebook, folks, in the last 3 months, she's had a lot of posts about different things and a lot of, you know, comments about God. She knew God. She definitely knew God as a child. She was baptized Presbyterians, basically they're denominational nuts. You know, you want to turn your back on that? That's a racial term, by the way. Yeah, racial, we are. We're denominational nuts. Baptized this, confirmed that, went to a Baptist, you know, it goes on and on. But that's okay. Our former pastor who was like a big brother to me and helped me raise my two daughters in our little town of Fuller, California, he said, Sue, I'm going to tell you something. This was a couple of days after we were sitting there at the house, and he said, Tara knew Jesus, but more importantly, Jesus knew Tara. And we know she's in heaven right now, and Joel handed me a note today. And I'm just going to leave you with this. Tara's here with us. Joel brought her urn. She's over there. There's a lot of things going on over there about her life. I'm really pleased that Karen's over there right now because Karen actually got her to love football again this year. So that our Super Bowl was actually fun, our party at the house. And Carissa. And Hope. And who's that? April? Everybody's here. So I'm going to leave you with this because when he handed me this, I said, yep, I'm going to read it. He asked for help because Joel needed some help. It says, Joel and family, although this was something that I would never have imagined doing, I felt honored to be asked to be a part. A special prayer was said to her, and I reminded her of just how she impacted the lives of everyone she knew in such a beautiful way. And this is, I think, how I want us to always think about Tara. She's here with us. Talk to her. He closes it with this. Angels are among us, and I know she is one of them. Thank you all for being here and celebrating our angel. I said, I don't know how I can do life without her. I don't know how I did life with her sometimes. You know? I mean, Joel can relate, Clay can relate, the girls can relate. Life is tough. Your former bosses can relate. The mayor can relate. Tara's tough, but we're tougher. So what we have for you today that Kenzie's going to walk around and hand out if you haven't already gotten one is, we're Tara May Strong. And we have some bracelets that my cousin made and we want to make sure that everybody gets one. But please go over, say your piece to Tara, have a moment with her, and enjoy now what Tara would want you to enjoy. She wants you to go over there, do your thing, and get over here and eat, please. The taco truck's ready. They're ready for you. The drinks are over here. Thank you to all of our neighbors and friends that helped us do this, and thank you to every single one of you that were at the golf tournament yesterday. We appreciate you like Tara May loved you. Thank you. Rachel says no. So
She would not want that.
she wants us to party now. So guess what, folks? In Tara May style, it's a party.